Well, there is a impact. There we
Um,
go.
oh, there you go. Hey, Tyrese, what do you think about Pete Carmichael being our offensive coordinator, and who do you think's gonna lock up the NFC South come next year?
Pete Carmichael's all right. As far as the winning the South, probably got to say either the Bucks or the Saints.
Okay, and do you say the Bucks because of their defense, or because they're trying to make a strong push for quarterback?
Oh, say that again?
I was saying, since you have the Bucks and the Saints, maybe winning the South, do you think the Bucks keep that dominant type of play, or do you think they're going to go downhill?
Probably going to draft.
Right. Yeah, I don't see them, to be honest, because I keep seeing the Buccaneers linked with Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson, but I really honestly don't see that happening. What about you? You think that'll happen?
No, I don't think so either.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't think that's. I think they got bigger needs. I know they need a quarterback, but I think they have both their offensive weapons going to be free agents this year, and Ryan Jensen, their center, and their guard, that other guy, I can't remember his name. But yeah, dude, they're gonna have to focus on if they can sign those two players back. I don't know their cap situation over there on the Buccaneers, but like I said, I don't see them signing a big name guy like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson.
That's if
Same,
they got the capital.
right, right. Same with us. I really I see a lot of talk with this, I even seen something on Twitter saying something about the Saints were interested in Mitch Trubisky. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, that's just cap.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, but Mitch Trubisky has had his years to prove himself. Just because he came in behind Josh Allen and had one good game, I'm not sold on Mitch at all. There's no
Nah.
way there's no way I'd want him a part of the Saints organization. That's just my opinion. I mean, I've never seen that guy be a real dominant quarterback. Not at all. Maybe that one game that he played. But yeah, I think keeping keeping Pete Carmichael as our offensive coordinator is a pretty smart decision. Keep the continuity. Uh, we keep. We're probably going to keep a lot of the Sean Payton type offense with a little twist, of course, because I think Dennis Allen wants to have his own type of offense with Pete Carmichael. I think that's the plan. I don't know if Pete Carmichael is going to be calling the plays or if Dennis Allen, because I heard something about Dennis Allen wants to call some plays. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm excited to see how that's going to work. And
Right.
I've been pretty excited since Dennis Allen became our head coach because it seems like, yeah, he is keeping a lot of the continuity. At the end of the day, he is a big part of the decision. Um, but I kind of feel like he did a pretty thorough interviews, and I just think Dennis Allen has took this job and ran with it right now, and is making the right move so far. I'm really excited to see what he wants to do in the draft because us Saints fans, um, of course, we all want wide receivers or an offensive line guy. Definitely a superstar wide receiver because we know Michael Thomas is coming back. But you never know. We've drafted defensive linemen last 2 years, so offensive guy, and like our first round picks have gone to offensive linemen and defensive linemen last 3-4 years.
Yeah,
So
so he couldn't have the right mind to make the right choice.
right,
Otherwise, he's a fucking idiot.
right. So hey, what would you do if the Saints come first round? I know a hell of people are gonna get mad if I say this, but Hey, I'm not gonna look for any surprises with the Saints. I won't be surprised if this happens. Just gonna throw it out there. The guy from Georgia, number 99, defensive interior lineman. He's a big dude. He's like the best defensive lineman coming out of this year's draft. I seen a mock draft the other day. It had the Saints picking him. And at first, I was like, dude, are you kidding? Defensive lineman, you know what I mean? Until I started, looking into this kid, dude. He's like a 360 pounds or something like that, 320 pounds. I can't remember. But he's like 6'6". He's a really big, dominant guy. I think the only thing he really lacks is, say when the quarterback gets out of the pocket, if it's a fast quarterback, then, you can pretty much just expect the quarterback to get around him. But other than that, he's really good at causing pressure and pancaking offensive linemen. So I was looking at that. I wouldn't be too angry, but in all reality, I still want a wide receiver, big name wide receiver, come first round, in my opinion, or an offensive line guy. That's a big name as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Would you be surprised if we went that route on defensive line or what?
Yeah, because we got a lot of concerns with the offense.
Right. That was my concern as well. I mean, yes, we are lacking a little bit of just along David Adimata. We are lacking a little bit. Nobody really can since Sheldon Rankins and Malcolm Brown has left. Right next to David Adimata has been, kind of our downgrade, our weak spot in our defense, I believe. Maybe that'll change with Peyton Turner and coming back because he was taking a lot of reps in that defensive right next to David Adimata instead of edge rushing. So, I mean, dude, I really want a wide receiver, bud. Really bad in the first round. I don't see us picking one in the first round just because, we've seen our history of the Saints draft picks. And when first round come along, we're usually looking at, like I said, offensive lineman or defensive lineman. So, what free agent wide receiver have you looked at that you thought would fit pretty good with the Saints?
Shit, I haven't been taking a look at any.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of big name. I was actually surprised this year in how many big name free agent wide receivers there are. I see, a lot of big name wide receivers that are free agents this year. Like I said, there are some pretty bigger name guys that I feel that aren't wanting that fat bag. You know what I mean? Like a DJ Chark. I really like him. He's a free agent from the Jags. The way I see it, if a Jags wide receiver can pull out 1,000-yard season, he's doing pretty good for being in a shitty offense. Rookie quarterback, no O-line. Head coach that got fired, So and replaced. So in my opinion, I think DJ Chark, if he can stride in a Jaguars offense, I think being a number one guy, I think if he came to the Saints being a number two guy, I think he would strive even better, honestly.
Right. I see. Yeah, he's playing really well too, and he'll do well with the offense. Exceptional route runner.
Right.
Just a machine on the field, honestly. Definitely need another wide receiver. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get an O-line because we have offensive line issues too.
Right, and there are a lot of dominant O-line coming out of this year's draft. And even in this free agency, we have a lot of tackles, guards, centers, and a bunch of offensive linemen coming out of this year's free agent. I was looking at that a lot as well, but I think a lot of them are going to want paid. And kind of like the T. Stead situation, I'm kind of iffy on that one. I really like T. Stead. I know he gets hurt every year, but when he is on,
he gotta go.
he's
Fuck that guy. He's gotta leave.
He's all fuck. Yeah, I just think when he is playing and he is on the field, he's dominant. But when he's not on the field, it shows. I think if we lose T. Stead to free agency, I believe either we're going to draft his replacement or we're going to move Landon Young to replace him. That's just what I think might happen. I think Landon Young has a lot of potential. He came in on that Miami game, and yeah, it wasn't good, but it wasn't good. But it is his first time. He only allowed 2 pressures that game. And he was the highest graded offensive line coming out of that game. Even, on the Miami Dolphins side, he was the highest graded on that game, which says a lot as a rookie playing only one time. He did get injured, and that sucks. But I hope he recovers well. And
also, too, man, all hands on deck.
Right, man. I'm so for it. I really want us to go all hands on deck. 100%. I really want us to go all out on. To be honest, I think if we could sign all our defensive weapons, and we could just focus on our offense this year, because our defense is, it's got that continuity. As much as we rag on Marcus Williams, if he doesn't want that fat bag, then fucking sign him. Because if we let him go, it's going to be another Trey Hendrickson story. He's going to leave, and he's probably going to ball out somewhere else.
He's going to ball out?
I really think if we let Marcus Williams go, I really think he would go ball out somewhere else. I think he's a ball hawk. He does have those hesitation plays that, it's hard to overlook with Marcus Williams. And that's what we look at, when we grade him. We see those big missed plays like the Minnesota Miracle. We see the 49ers play where you just let that running back just run by him. But, if you look at the positives and you see, he is that guy that doesn't let normally, besides a couple hiccups during the season, he is that guy that keeps the, keeps the wide receivers at bay and don't let them, get them downfield and have long wide receiver plays on us. We haven't had too many this year. We did slip up on a couple, but I think, it'd be another Trey Hendrickson story. Like I said, I think he would leave. If he does leave, I think he's going to leave somewhere to a safety needed team, and he'd ball out there. I like Marcus Williams. I think he's got more potential. He just needs to work on his hesitation. I think his hesitation kills him, and I think that might be mental. I think that might be, cause for the Minnesota Miracle. And then that's hesitation. To me, hesitation will not only what's this? But I feel hesitation is what makes him look bad in those big plays that we can't overlook. But yeah, dude, I really want us to focus on offense, on free agency, and this year's draft, honestly. What's this? I seen Josh just join.
Yeah, man, what's good?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing great, man.
Man, what's up?
Yo, what's good? So y'all was talking about Pete Carmichael?
Yeah. I was talking him and Marcus Williams and etc.
I'm glad Pete Carmichael the OC now, man. I mean, there's just not a lot of guys that run Sean Payton's scheme, so I'm happy with it.
Is that what you're hoping for, to get Sean Payton clone? So we be
Man,
Okay.
I hope so. I hope so, man.
Well, hey, I kind of want the Sean Payton offense, but because nobody in the NFL really figures it out. But yet, I want a twist on it, man. I want a little more open up that playbook where he wasn't when Jameis Winston thrives on that. And I don't think Sean Payton's hesitant too, man. He's like doesn't want to take training wheels off anyone. You know what I mean? So
Starting to seem old now.
right,
Right.
right. I mean, you can't keep the training wheels on every player for the whole season, man. I mean, come on. I hope Pete
For real.
Carmichael, for real, dude. I really hope Pete Carmichael has how would you put it? Less hesitation, more balls. Best way I can describe it. I want him. If you notice, Sean Payton's 2-minute offense is probably one of the best in the league. But why can't we play a 2-minute offense for longer than 2 minutes of the
Oh Lord,
of 4
broke my
quarters?
mind
You know
with
what I'm
that
saying?
one.
Exactly. It's like you got Sean Payton has the best. I mean, the best out of any NFL team, and a lot of people can vouch for that in the 2 minutes, especially when he had Drew Brees. Now, what I'm saying, you're like, Sean Payton, why do you take so much time into that 2-minute offense when there's a whole 4 quarters? You know what I'm saying? That was a big issue with me a lot. And that's why I think Trevor Siemian kind of strided, if you notice, only in the 4th quarter. I think that was his 2-minute, warning there. Maybe they told him to run a 2-minute offense in the 4th quarter only. I don't know. But
yeah, just a
man.
lot of foolish stuff going on.
Right.
That's what I hated
because the
about Sean
playbook
Payton,
got
man.
bland, man. I think it's because the playbook got bland. Like I think Sean Payton, he just doesn't have that same like creativity that he used to have.
Right.
And like before he found Taysom Hill, like there was no new innovation in the offense, bro. I feel like that's something to look at.
Yeah, that's true. That is, dude. It's like he lost his, and we really seen it when Drew Brees left. I mean, before Drew Brees, he kind of had to account for Drew Brees' deep arm, because he didn't have that deep pass. So, and they did a little dink and dunk offense for 3-4 years before he retired. So I kind of think Sean Payton just kept with that, and his energetic level just was like gone. 2018, 2019 season, he was starting to open up the playbook. Drew Brees' arm, of course, wasn't 100%. But yeah, dude, we can, as Saints fans, can just hope Pete Carmichael doesn't do any of those dumb plays that us Saints fans, like
What the hell, bro?
right, would just pull our hair out, during the game when Sean Payton hey, like I hate to use it like this because I love Taysom Hill, but that game, man, when Jameis Winston was like just starting to like cook, and then he's like, hey,
Oh yeah,
come
the
here.
Giants game.
Right, and then he's like, come here and try that. Hey, dude, I wouldn't mind if you tried that fuckery when, we're maybe up and winning or something, or maybe he runs Taysom Hill, because I mean Taysom Hill always ran really good. But I mean, don't just take somebody that's just starting to cook and put him back on the bench for a play. So another person go in there and throw an interception. I hate bringing that one up because because if it would have worked, we wouldn't have been up here talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be up here, like, oh, Sean Payton shouldn't have done that, because it would have worked. Just like a lot of the plays when we knew Taysom Hill was going to the right-hand side, and Sean Payton did it like 7 times in a row that one game. At first, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then all of a sudden, it's working. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
Like he forced it to. I'm
Right.
starting to think that Payton is overrated, man.
Right. Payton, Sean Payton, in my opinion, I think he's really good offensive mind. But like you said, that energy and that spunk that I feel was only in the 2-minute drives. 2 minutes before halftime, 2 minutes before the game ends. That's the only time Sean Payton had that energetic, let's go, let's go, let's go. And to me, I feel like you need that let's go from the first snap to the last snap. And Sean Payton was lacking that for the last couple of years. And Drew Brees retiring, like, we seen it this year, dude. He just wasn't in it. He wasn't even in it, bro. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm
Hey, he
saying?
gave up, man.
Yeah, he gave up, dude.
He gave up, keeping it 100.
All right. I think something that's gonna get better under DA is gonna be situational football. Like in
Oh,
that
yeah.
Bucks game, like okay, like let's say in that Bucks game, right? Like 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. You know, Sean Payton would have tried to do, you know, some trick play or something with Taysom Hill or something. You know, DA he just more conservative, but it works better if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're controlling the clock that way. Yeah, I think DA will run, just like you said, a lot of more conservative type football. But I still think he's going to get, like, say if he signed. I don't know what his plan is, but it kind of seems like he's going with the Jameis Winston just because he's signing everybody, you know, like Pete Carmichael. And
Yeah.
I seen something on Twitter about that. I don't know if it's true. Every time Winston, you know, whips out some of these workout videos, he's wearing a Saints shirt. Maybe that, you know,
Quan did the same thing. Just
Quan did.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to bring up another point, man. These quarterbacks, DA is going to have a really good run game, man. Because I'm not trusting these quarterbacks' health. I'm going to be honest, man. I think they're injury prone.
Yeah, rather if it's Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, they both are coming off the injury. So we got to look at that too. I mean, it is ACL, MCL, and he does look good right now, but we got to realize he ain't having a contact sport. He's not on the field running his, you know, an offense. So we got to look at that as well. And, you know, I'm not taking nothing from Jameis Winston's recovery because I think he's really ahead of track. I mean, you know, he's looking good. But it is a worry, you know, just like with Joe Burrow. You see in the Super Bowl, he went down. He only sprained his leg. You know, he didn't suffer an MCL, which is good because if you were to suffer an MCL in a Super Bowl, it don't look like, you know, he'd be ready for week 1. Same with Odell Beckham. A lot of Saints fans wanted us to sign him after this year. And now look, he's on his 2nd ACL I believe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he just came off an ACL this year. Now he just got another one. And it sucks for him because, like, I feel like Odell was just starting to play his best football. You seen it in the Super Bowl at the beginning of it until he got hurt. You know, I can't really me personally, you know, I'm not an Odell fan. You know, I think he's a little too cocky, but I ain't taking nothing from his skill set. You know, I think he's still pretty dominant wide receiver. But I think his time in the NFL might come to an end. He got a Super Bowl ring. You know, he's coming off his 2nd ACL. It does a body, you know, like it tears people up like that way. Plus, all he wanted was a ring. I wouldn't blame him if he retired, to be honest with you.
I think he still has more in the tank. You know, he was playing against a real competitive Bengals team. You know.
Yeah, he was.
I'm
Apparently,
not really sure about his health overall, though, but because that is physical, being, you know, a wide receiver, especially at number 1. Well, he was a number 2, but you know how he can get down.
Right. Hey, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind him on our team, but as long as he's healthy, of course.
Right.
Facts.
But coming off of 2 ACLs, I mean, man, dude, I feel bad for him because, just like I said, he was just starting to look really good. And then and if you notice that ACL, it just in mid, like, he was running that route, and in mid, like, jog, he just no contact injury or nothing, just totally popped, dude. And I didn't even see it. I remember we were watching Super Bowl. And my girlfriend was like, "Dude, did you see that?" She's all, "Oh, you see that pop?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I looked and I was like, "Oh shit!" And they were playing the replay, and she was like closing her eyes. I'm like, "What's wrong?" I look over and I watched it pop. I was like, "Ugh, yeah, that's not good." Definitely just snapped his ACL, bro, like bad.
Yeah, same ACL he injured before too.
That's horrible, dude.
Yeah. But like you said, I wouldn't mind the Saints getting him, man. He better than everyone we got. Leaps and bounds better than everyone we got, besides Mike, of course.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Because I
Like,
mean, with these wide receivers that he got, you just hoping and praying that they'll look good.
right. He even said he was pretty close to signing with the Saints. I understand why he didn't.
Trevor Siemian.
Jeez. If
100%.
only Trevor played like he plays in the second half, man.
For real, man.
You mean the fourth quarter, but you know.
Yeah, the fourth quarter. Because like when he came in that Falcons game, like what was it, the first pass or the second pass? He throw it a TD.
Right.
I mean, the Falcons should be ashamed, man. They always blowing leads.
Facts, man. Hey, I was getting into it with a Saints fan on Twitter. And I was dying, bro, because they were basically saying we got no quarterback, no head coach, no offensive coordinator.
He probably said no cap space either.
100% says no
We've
cap
debunked
space.
that like 50 billion times.
For real, man.
100%. They're all no AK, no Michael Thomas. And I'm like, man. So I posted under there. I was like, yeah, typical Falcons fan. Doesn't, I was like.
Typical casual fan.
Yeah, typical casual fan. Doesn't do his research before he opens his mouth and starts posting comments.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, and this fool's like, well, tell me something I said wrong. I was like, well, the cap space, we were 100 million over last year.
Man,
And
people need to stop that, man.
right. I was like, if you knew Mikey Loomis and, like, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And then like, he wanted to proceed to say, oh, yeah, dude, Matt Ryan and the Falcons are the only team right now in the NFC South that that have an established quarterback.
But Taysom Hill swept them, though.
Yeah, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, oh, God, this guy. So, of course, me being petty, I just put up the Shy Tuttle meme just to shut him up real quick. Yeah, and I told him, I was like, all right, well, you seen what happened with Tom Brady. He retired. I was all, Drew Brees retired. Ben Roethlisberger. I was all, Matt Ryan's next, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, those
Yeah,
type
he needs to go. That guy's garbage.
right. And if you notice, all these Falcons fans complain about him during the year. And then, like, come the offseason, they want to, like, praise him like he's God or something.
Because they bandwagons, man.
Yeah,
I just think there's a lot of people from Atlanta. Like,
right.
It's kind of like a business city, like, entertainment.
Yeah.
Right. It is, dude. And to me, Matt Ryan, I mean, yeah, he does have his good games, but I don't consider him an elite quarterback at all.
I mean, he ain't elite no more, but I still think he pretty decent, pretty good.
Yeah. I ain't taking nothing from him. I think he's decent. I just don't think he's an elite type quarterback.
Right. Elite talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Falcons pro trade. The Falcons pro trade like he was a Drew Brees or something. It's like, whoa. So, pump your brakes, bro.
Pump him, stop him, all that.
Right. I mean, we can't take Matt Ryan's, career away from him. But
right.
I mean, every time we play him, I believe Cam Jordan's got his number. So if we want to break it, right? I mean, if we want to break it, trash, bro. Like, it's horrible. Maybe the Falcons need to focus on offensive line this year. And maybe draft the whole offensive line. Not just one. We need all five. Because any offensive line we're going up against, they're getting wrecked. Dude.
Yep. Man,
and that's insane because, like, it's like the whole team just deteriorated again.
Again, bro.
Again.
Yeah, man. The South is for the Saints to take, man.
I really think that.
I hope.
And I'm not saying, we might be, long stretching it, but at the end of the day, I still think we could take the division.
Me too, man.
To be honest, guys, I really think, I don't know, I got a weird feeling that the Buccaneers might try to get a trade for Jimmy G off the Niners. I think that'd be a cheap deal for him. I hope that happens because I can't stand Jimmy G. And, man, dude, that guy in big moments throws a lot of interceptions. So if he's on the Bucs, I mean, our defense is just going to eat. You know.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Bucks. You guys can sign Jimmy G. Make the Saints fans happy.
And the Panthers gonna be the Panthers, and
Well,
I don't know what they doing. So
hey, the Panthers got 2 quarterbacks that they don't even know which one's going to be their starting quarterback. Still,
right, they be like taking turns, and I'm like, man,
They got 2 washed up QBs.
and they're still looking at these prospects coming out of this year's draft.
Nah, they
And
need to take a lineman. Nah.
Right, and they're still in talks with Deshaun Watson. Like, what are you guys doing? You have 2 quarterbacks. Why do you want Deshaun Watson too? You're gonna have a 3 quarterback system, which none of them play. You know what I mean? Like, you have Sam Darnold. I mean, as much as Sam Darnold, as much as we can hate on him, dude, he's been on 2 shitty teams. He's done decent sometimes, but it's Sam Darnold, dude. Like, of course, you're on the Panthers, you're on the Jets. You're not going to do that great. You got a shitty O-line on both teams. And then they decide, well, let's bring Cam Newton back because he was our star our star quarterback for years. So they bring
did
him
that for
back.
ticket sales.
They did, bro, because they bring him back and they're not even starting him. They'll bring him in every now and then. And to me, it's like your whole fan base just blew up when Cam Newton first came in with his jersey, like running through the tunnel. They're screaming Cam Newton. You would think, being a head coach, you're like, well, fuck. Hey, Cam, you want to play, dog? Yeah, I mean, like,
Right.
but no, they kept doing like Tyrese was saying. They kept bouncing them around, like taking turns, as he was saying. Do you taking? Oh, hey, Sam Darnold, you want to throw the ball today, bro? He's all, hell yeah. Then they look at Cam. I know you mad, but you happy at the same time because you got a contract and you're getting a little money, but at the same time you mad because you ain't starting. It's
You
all
know
good.
what, man? I wonder if the owner impacts those decisions too. You know what I'm saying? Because the head
They
coach can
definitely
want one
signed
thing.
Cam for some tickets, man. There's no way because the man
Right.
barely played and he was trash when he did. So yeah, there's no way.
Well, besides for that Arizona game, but otherwise,
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back. Yeah, man, I just feel bad for these teams, man. Even though I wish they burn.
Right, and what's up with the whole Kyler Murray situation? You guys seeing that?
Bro, I'd be pissed off too. Look how they collapsed.
Right.
We could get Kyler, man.
Oh, fuck. That'd be insane. I'm not even gonna lie. Well, Kyler Murray coming fucking.
Tyler Murray coming to where? Not here.
Someone said that in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I would love to see Kyler in New Orleans.
Really?
I would. I would.
What much could he do?
I mean, it is a short quarterback system, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we need a 6'4" gunslinger. All right. We got a white Mormon missile. We got Jameis Winston. So you pick and choose. I do not want no 5'7" QB. Do you understand?
Yeah, but I can't take nothing from Kyler Murray though. I think he's a pretty badass quarterback.
Same.
I just think I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals, but they should definitely make amends because if they lose Kyler Murray,
they're back to square one.
They're back to square one because AJ Green's a free agent. You got a lot of players on their defense, or their team that are going to become free agents this year. So yeah, if I was the Cardinals coach, I'd be all in for Kyle Murray. I'd be making amends, doing whatever to make him happy. Because once they lose him, that's huge.
I think they were questioning his leadership, and also, what was I thinking? Kyler Murray. They had they were on a roll and then they just collapsed.
Bad too.
I'm not sure if it was because D-Hop was out or not, but their season just went down. Like they were choking last minute games. A whole bunch of shit.
Yep.
Kyle Murray wouldn't even go out What the last game I heard, he wouldn't even go back out. He's like, nah, fuck that. I ain't going out there.
Playing for a sorry ass Arizona team.
He's all I'm done with this bullshit. You know,
And
I'm going.
I be forgetting Arizona even exists. I'm like New Mexico, California. Oh yeah, Texas.
I know it's just crazy to see. I mean, you seen
I'm about to leave. I'll be right back.
yeah, you seen Larry Fitzgerald like kind of dip out and not come back this year.
I think he retired.
Yeah. He hasn't officially announced it though.
Oh,
That I seen. Yeah, dude, that's why I thought it was weird. He is a free agent. Oh, Larry Fitzgerald. I don't see him going anywhere else. He should retire. He didn't play this year.
Yeah.
He is getting up there in age. I've always liked Larry Fitz just because he's been around the league for years.
Yeah, great player.
Right, but Kyler is a crybaby. Rose City, I see you, Doug. To be honest, if Kyle Murray decides not to play football anymore, I can see him going to the baseball because he already had a contract.
Yeah, I think it was a first-round pick.
Yeah, he was. He was a first-round pick to go to the baseball, but he wanted to continue his career as an NFL player. So I think, all cheers for him. Like I said, if it doesn't go good with the Cardinals and maybe another team that he doesn't want to be on tries to pick him up, I think he just calls it quits and goes plays baseball. But I still think like you said, John, I think he's got a lot of gas left in the tank. I think he could be a really strong quarterback for pretty much any team, as long as it's got an offensive line, of course.
Yeah.
Because he is a smaller type guy, so an offensive line definitely needed with the Kyle Murray guy as a quarterback. Of course, with any quarterback, but
especially him.
Especially him, yeah. Definitely need to block him. He is fast, and that's what I like about him. I think he's got really explosive speed and quickness. And from sideline to sideline, I feel if he's going sideways to throw the pass and nobody's open and he runs for it, I feel like almost 9 times out of 10 he's gaining yards. He's not missing out on yards, but there are those bad plays as well. Yeah, I'm not taking nothing from Kyle Murray. I think he's a pretty dominant quarterback. I think this year was kind of like, if you remember last year, the Steelers went 11-0.
Yep.
They were the talk about the NFL, and then next thing you know, they went downhill. I kind of feel the Steelers in 2019, 2020, whatever. you know what season I'm talking about. I feel like the Cardinals had a similar type. I'm not saying they went 11-0 or nothing, but they had a similar type of success. They were the talk. Oh yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl earlier this season. They were 5-0. If I remember right, at the beginning of the season, and nobody was going to beat them, and all this crap. And then next thing you know, J.J. Watt gets hurt. D-Hop gets hurt. And I don't know who else got hurt on that team, but probably a couple other people went down, and that whole team went downhill, and we've seen it. Just like the Steelers that year. They went 11-0. Everyone's saying they're going to the Super Bowl, and they barely made it to the playoffs, I feel like. I know they made it to the playoffs. I mean, they were like they had a seed. I'm just saying, they got there and got, pretty much exposed. And I kind of feel like the players kind of brought them on, themselves. That Chase Claypool is like, I don't know what it feels like to lose, after winning 11
Yeah,
games.
that was wild.
Yeah, and then they went on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. So, we got to definitely hold on. Definitely look at that as well. I see Tyrese is back.
Yo, had a call, my bad.
No worries, huh?
So what are we talking about? What are we speaking of?
We're just still talking about Kyler and other quarterbacks. You see all these. If you guys realize, like, we're gonna have so many different let's say rumors or post on Twitter about like I've already seen Jimmy G linked to the Saints.
No. As long as bro, no.
100%. Hey, bro, if Jimmy G comes to the Saints, guys, I will not watch football next year.
Same.
And that's hard for me to say. But I'm not even gonna. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. My girlfriend's a Niners fan. Hey, dude, and I was the guy over here like, hey, babe, like, chill out, dude. You know, like Jimmy G's killing it, dude. No, fuck you talking about, girl. Look, at least you got a quarterback. You know what I mean? And hey, all year, I was just like, trying to have Jimmy G's back until I started paying attention. And I started paying attention in big games, big moments. Jimmy G
doing
throws
something wrong.
Always doing something wrong. And instead of throwing it out of bounds, he decides, hey, why not throw it to the other team instead? I mean, that's a good idea, right? When you're, winning the game and you decide, oh, well, it's fourth quarter. I guess it's time to start slacking off or something. I don't know what's wrong with Jimmy G.
Yeah, I want to see that dude, man. I want to see. I'd rather see Taysom than him, man. I'm sorry, but.
Hey, and that is facts, 100%. And the reason I say that with more confidence than anything is because, like I said, my old lady's a Niners fan, and I dealt with it all year, bro. I dealt with her saying, get rid of that motherfucker, like all year long, bro. And I finally realized when it come to playoffs, that game was the Niners to win. As much as the score looked like it was horrible, the Niners could have came back. They had 2 minutes, come back, win that game. And they failed to do that. Jimmy G threw that interception right at the 20-yard line, pick six to end the game pretty much. So to me, I think the Niners, and I don't understand why, bro. The Niners earlier in the season when I started paying attention to them, Trey Lance came in, kind of like the Taysom Hill rule when Jameis Winston was in. They were using that same type of rule for a minute, except for they were letting Trey Lance pass more than run. So it's kind of opposite. Like with Taysom Hill, we have him run more when he is doing that Swiss Army knife behind Jameis. So, and that's what they were doing with Trey Lance. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy G goes down. Trey Lance takes over. Jimmy G comes back, and then they never put Trey Lance back out. Ever. And that kid, hey, I gotta admit, Trey Lance, if he's in the red zone area, 20-yard line, red zone area, it's almost guaranteed he's gonna make a touchdown. Whether it's a passing touchdown or he's gonna run it in. And to me, if the Niners would have used that, it would have benefited them throughout the season more. Because Jimmy G at the red zone was not that dominant. But every time they threw in Trey Lance, it was like 10 out of 10, like he would go in there, he would pass the ball to George Kittle or Deebo Samuel. Those were his two playmakers and those were the two guys that he went for. He normally went with the running back in play action. He'd like to throw to the running back or Deebo Samuel. But I don't understand why the Niners didn't use Trey Lance more. Knowing what happens in big games and big moments with Jimmy G.
They probably just ain't want to get him hurt because like the difference between like Trey Lance and Taysom Hill, like Trey Lance like a top 3 pick, like they don't want to get him hurt. Taysom Hill, I mean, not to be rude, but like I mean they'll just throw him out to do anything. But Rose City said in the comments, no to Carson Wentz. Bruh, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't mind Carson Wentz starting for the Saints, man. That might just be me, but I wouldn't mind.
I said the only bad thing I could come with Carson Wentz, because we got to look at this year. I think he did pretty solid as a course quarterback. I think the only issue with him would be his health on both of his ankles, because if we remember correctly at the beginning of this season, he had some chronic pain in his right ankle. And then, so chronic pain is actually, chronic. It stays with, so it lingers. I believe it lingered with him this year. And it showed, because he had to be taken out of some games. But if he was healthy, we've seen what he can do. And to me, he can do pretty decent. He's got an arm. He stays in the pocket. He does kind of run outside the pocket sometimes, but that is like his last resort, which I kind of like because when you're in the pocket, I feel like you can make those plays a lot more. I don't know, dude. Carson Wentz. We got to look at it like this. It'd probably be a better than Taysom Hill just because he's been a starter in the league for numerous years. He's been established as a number one quarterback, starting quarterback. But yes, as like I said, the only issue I would have with that is his health with his ankles. Other than that, if his health with his ankles are fine and moving forward, then that wouldn't be a horrible pick.
Thanks, but I just can't wait till we re-sign Jameis, man, because I'm tired of these QB rumors, man. Like, honestly, because it's just like, damn, it's like, what else do Jameis got to prove? Like, what else do we got to prove, man?
Yeah, I'm all in for Jameis. I really want that to happen. I feel kind of like when K1 was doing his workout videos, and I kind of feel like he's got the same mentality K1's had last year. He just wants to be back on a team and stride.
Yep.
Shit, hopefully he bring us some prosperity, because we starving out here.
Yeah, we're starving,
Well,
Jameis. And I really think some players like Michael Thomas is like $24 million this year that we owe him. Andreas Pete, another guy that was injured that didn't play much this year. I believe those two players are going to be hit with reconstructed contracts this year because, of course, both of them really didn't play. Andreas Pete played, but he got hurt early in this season. So I kind of feel maybe we see a reconstructing deal on both those guys just to free up some money so we can maybe sign someone else.
Yeah, they definitely getting reconstructed. But speaking of Pete, do y'all think he can make the move to tackle this year?
hell no. Somebody gonna get him and break another part of his body. Then we really screwed.
I think we just keep him at the same position he's in, and I think if we lose T. Stead, then I think Landon Young or we sign his replacement, one of the two. I think Landon Young might replace him, or somebody else that has been established in the league, or somebody in the free agent. I kind of have a feeling we might keep T. Stead just because he likes it in New Orleans, but just like I said, he's going to have to take a hometown discount because he's always getting hurt. And he's got to realize that. If he wants a fat bag and somebody's willing to pay him that fat bag, I could only see the Jacksonville Jaguars doing that because they got like the most cap space. Or I keep seeing the Bengals,
Yeah.
And him in that uniform. It looks horrible.
Really do. It's like a knockoff LSU colors.
Yeah, I'm like, man, he doesn't even look right. I'm like, nah, T. Stead, don't do him like that. I like T. Stead, man. I think he's got some, gas left in his tank. But yeah, like we say, he does get hurt a lot, constantly. But hey, Tony Jones did hurt his elbow this year, so you know what? We got to look at that too. You know what, Tony Jones, next time, watch where you're going. Your helmet. Keep your eyes on the fucking football or on the field, not T. Stead's elbow. But I mean, you're trying out there, I guess.
Yeah.
Tony Jones, I had high hopes for, and he's pretty much failed me for 2 years, so I can't really have high hopes for him anymore.
His old line was bad this year, though. I mean, like you gotta. I mean,
yeah,
like, you can't just say that. Like his old line was bad.
But I mean, shit, when AK got in there, it moved.
Yeah, like 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards at a time.
Like 3 yards, and every time Tony Jones or Mike Ingram get in, the line collapsed. Like that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh shit. Yeah, it's like the other team just had to, or Taysom Hill, man. Who you guys think? Really, that's going to be our quarterback come next year. You guys really think we're going to re-sign Jameis, or do you think he's going to go out elsewhere with where the money's at?
I think it's gonna be Jameis.
By you, last think it's going to be
Uh,
Jameis? You think we're going to draft a quarterback, or you think we're going to roll with Taysom Hill?
I honestly don't know. I think Jameis probably would slide. I mean, not go anywhere, but like take it. If I'm being honest, like no trolling or none of that. I think that Jameis will get the nod.
You get the nod for sure.
Yes.
And you think if we sign Jameis, since he was our starter last year, do you think he's going to automatically become our starter again? Or do you think DA is going to have another quarterback competition like Sean Payton did with Taysom Hill, Ian Book, whoever's on our quarterback staff?
I don't think
having
there's
that
no competition, man. Like, bro, I feel like if there's another quarterback competition, I feel like he would lose the locker room. That's just me, though.
Oh, you think so? You think it's that bad?
Yeah, because I
He's
mean, like if I'm like DeMario Davis or Cam Jordan or something, I'm like, bro, we was 5-2 with Jameis. Like, come on, man, like, stop it.
Look, man, Cameron Jordan campaigning for a whole nother other QB.
For real. Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
Hey, bro.
He want a whole other QB, and I mean,
Hey, wait a minute. He did say, "Hey, Jameis, come back, man." But he did petition for Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. He even didn't he even say Lamar Jackson. I'm like, God damn, bro, this motherfucker.
yeah, like
Hey, this
Fiending
motherfucker
for
out
a
here
quarterback.
fiending for him, right?
Because I think he knows, like, that's what we need. We need a solid quarterback, and we can make a huge Super Bowl run. They see what the Rams did this year. They traded for Matthew Stafford. They went out and got Von Bell. They went out and got
them picks.
Yeah, and
Great picks.
Yeah, they're like, fuck the picks. You know, look at the Niners, bro. They went all out a couple years ago. You know, on that D line. If you remember right, the Niners had the best D line in football. But now they don't because that one dude left. I can't remember his name right offhand, but he went to the Colts. Buckner. They let Buckner go. He was a first-round pick. So what I'm getting at is the Niners have 0 picks in this year's draft. None.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's another reason. If you remember right, they traded up last year to get Trey Lance, which used a first-round pick from this year. So that ultimately took him out of this year's draft with picks.
Right. Which is something I've been saying, man. Like, if the Saints do like one of these dudes in the draft, man, you move heaven and earth to get them if you think they the guy. You know?
Facts,
bro. So hey, all right. I want to ask you guys: do you see any quarterback in this year's draft that is even worth starting at quarterback?
If Carson Strong falls to the second round, I would take him.
What about like Kenny Pickett? Because I see his draft stock starting to decline. Malik Willis is kind of moving up the ranks.
I would like Pickett, but like I don't know, man, because it's like he's real old. Like he don't really got a lot of upside, man. Like he's like 23, 24. I think James like 28. I'd rather.
You just call him old.
I mean, like he old for an NFL rookie. I mean.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, sometimes players are like real surprising. Like, Justin Herbert, they thought he was gonna be a bum.
Yeah, they thought he was gonna be trash.
He just balled out.
That dude's a beast, bro. He was a beast in Oregon State. And when he came to the league, bro, just like you're saying, man, nobody thought he was going to be this dominant quarterback, dude. You have I think he was in the same draft class as who else?
Tua and
Tua. That's
Burrow.
And Burrow,
Look
bro.
at the Dolphins, man. Look where the Dolphins may have been if they actually had a QB.
Well, you got to
Man, don't do Tua like that.
Yeah, because
I think he's trash.
I think Tua is pretty good. I just think
Same.
Brian Flores is a defensive minded coach, and I think he just never set him up for success. Because you got to look at Tua's numbers, dude. He was the highest in percentage, completions, and all that shit. Like, he was really good, but like I said, he's on a shitty team, dude, man. If Tua were to go to like
New Orleans?
Yeah. I mean, I think he would strive, but I mean, like, if he went to a team that was just Super Bowl ready now, dude, I think Tua would stride. But he doesn't have an O line there at the fucking Dolphins. The only time they had an O line is at that little 7-game winning streak. All of a sudden,
Yeah, they was playing bombs though.
yeah, they're
including
playing
us.
Yeah, dude, they were playing our practice squad out there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, man. No, practice squad for real.
Who is going to be the DC for the Saints?
Rashard.
Yeah, I really want to.
I just don't see Nielsen getting that DC spot. I don't know.
I know. I wanted Chris Richards to get it, but I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that because they're still interviewing people.
True.
But they were interviewing people for our offensive coordinator too. So
speaking of that, man, how did they get Pete Carmichael to take responsibility?
I have no clue, man. They must have bribed him, man.
Yeah, they must have bribed him with something good because that fool was like, "Nah, I don't want none of these responsibilities."
He was like, "I just want to sit back, relax, drop these plays."
Hey, now the fool's like, "All right, I'll sign as offensive coordinator, whatever." Stupid. Or maybe that was just a trick, to begin with. Maybe that was just, like a little tactic to make us not look so bad. And with all this race shit going on between the coaches, maybe they're just trying to interview people to make, the Saints look good.
Ooh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm really glad you said that because I saw people saying the Saints just interviewed Bieniemy for the Rooney Rule. That's lies because they interviewed Leftwich and Glenn before him, man. So people need to stop that.
Wait, what did they say?
They said we only interviewed EB because of the Rooney Rule, but they interviewed two black coordinators before that. Actually, not 3 because Flores too. So
Aaron Glenn. Yeah, I know. I man, personally, I think the Saints just are. I mean, I think they just went with the safest route. To be honest, I think they did the interviews. I think hey, we got to look at it like this too. Maybe some of these coaches coming in that are interviewing, they got a vision. They got a different vision than us Saints, staff does. And maybe they want, more money than we're willing to pay for them. And, that's how that goes. And don't get me wrong. I was really, really wanting Eric as our offensive coordinator, at least. Head coach, offensive coordinator, either one. I thought Eric would benefit, even as an offensive coordinator. I think he would benefit only because the narrative behind Eric is he strides under Andy Reid, and that's because he's got Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Well, I think he would stride if he came over to the Saints because right now we don't know who our quarterback is. We have a not so good of an offense, like the Chiefs have. So I think he would make a statement for even being offensive coordinator to make a head coaching position elsewhere if he came with us for a year and succeeded. But I don't see it happening, of course, because Pete Carmichael's our offensive coordinator. But I always thought that would be pretty badass if Eric did come over.
Yeah, facts. He's definitely good. And I wanted to ask Tyrese a question, but he's not here, so I'll just ask you: Do you think the book of Ian is officially closed?
Oh shit! That is a good question for Tyrese right there. But no, the book of Ian, man. Hey, like we were saying, if we sign Jameis Winston and that's our quarterback, here's the last thing.
Tyrese back.
Yeah, I had left my browser, man. I thought it was gonna keep playing.
Oh, yeah. Hey, dude. Hey, Josh, you want to ask him that question?
Yeah, Tyrese, is the book of Ian officially closed, man?
No, not yet. Not yet.
I knew it, bro. I knew it. I had a feeling.
Not yet. Look, man, look. Josh, how familiar are you with the UFC?
Not much at all.
Not much. All right. So me and Trey, we diehard MMA fans.
Facts.
And my thing with Ian Book is, man, he's trying to battle. He's trying to battle it out, man. He said he about to fight for the position. You know, fuck being a third stringer. For real.
He's all, I want that starting position. Scoot over, Jameis. That's what he's trying to
Right.
say. I love the confidence coming out of him, though.
Yeah, facts.
That's what we need, you know. Like, hey, look at him. He's kicking back as the third string. Like, man, I'm just trying to open up the chapter of the Ian book, man. You know, and he can't do that until he becomes a starter. So, in his mindset, he's like, man, I got the skills. Like, give me the quarterback competition to prove myself. Not saying that he would win, but the confidence, right? I mean, but hey, what if he went in there, started throwing like Patrick Mahomes or something during the during the mini camp and all that, won the quarterback competition. Now we got rookie as quarterback. I mean, that would be insane.
Yeah,
it would be. But then we can't really judge Ian Book. Ian Book came to a failed situation in Miami's game. So I can't really judge his skill set other than the Notre Dame time, and that was about it. Like, who knows? He could be a really badass quarterback, but we don't know.
True.
It just felt like Sean Payton made like a bunch of wild ass decisions and then left.
For real, man. Like most of these dudes that we got now that may pan out or may not, man. Most of them is his ideas, man. And no offense to him, because again, he probably the best coach we ever gonna have. But I mean, still,
DA was probably like, "Hey, man, what the hell?
Don't leave me with Peyton Turner."
For real, like you hope Peyton Turner turns out good, because I mean, look at Davenport. Like these guys barely show up to work.
Right.
Like I wish I was like them. I wish I could get paid and not go to work.
Hey, these motherfuckers are getting paid. And hey, when they show up to work, hey man, I mean you notice it.
Employee of the month.
Employee of the month. But hey,
one day out of the month.
One day out of the month. But after that one day, dog, he's gonna be out another month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, fuck. Hey, don't get me wrong. I really want to see Peyton Turner, because I think he's got a lot of upside. But hey, like Tyrese is saying, stay healthy, bud. Like we can't even like justify you're a good player. We can't even look at the stats. We can't even break down your film because your film's
not there.
yeah, your film's like ghost because we don't see you on the field. But I really think he's. If I remember right, he's like an inch taller than Davenport. So I mean, they're just as big as each other, pretty much.
Right.
That's another Davenport, but like we're up here, screaming at him like, hey, stay on the field, buddy. And that's another reason why I think our strength and conditioning coach got kicked. Like you seen how many injuries our players are having.
Wait, didn't he win an award for like strength and conditioning coach of the year?
Huh? What? It couldn't have been this year. Ain't no way. It couldn't have been this year.
I don't know, man. I think he won an award, bro.
Yeah, I seen some shit like that too, Josh. Yeah.
This year though? This year?
I don't know about this year, but
man, it couldn't have been this year. Ain't no
It was
way.
recent. I just know it was recent.
Yeah, it was recent. I think it was maybe this year or last year, dude.
Man, it must have been last year, man. Because ain't no way it was this year.
He said, "No, ain't no way."
Hey, man, if that fool got strength and conditioning coach of this year, man, they done bumped the fucking heads, dude. Because Roger Goodell must be signing that shit, bro. Because I don't know the fuck you're thinking, dude. Like our player, I mean, look at Davenport's been. maybe these players just need to go with Cam Jordan. The D-line players that keep getting hurt, go with Cam Jordan. Go with Iron Man. At least he can stay out on the field. We might rag on him a little bit for not getting sacks, but hey, at least he can stay on the field and be healthy. At least he's a reliable defensive end, and we can't ask no more than that from him. Now, if Davenport can take notes, and Peyton Turner especially, since we haven't seen him this year or pretty much at all. If he can take real good notes, maybe he can stay healthier, because I really want to see his potential.
Facts. And the thing about Peyton Turner, man, it's just the honest truth. He's always going to be compared to the other defenders in our draft class, Pete Warner and Debo. That's just the nature of how it is, man. But when he was on the field, he was decent, but he was barely on the field. But when he was decent, though. He played good in that Panthers game. The only person that played good in that Panthers game, the first one. But yeah, it's just crazy.
It is crazy for sure. I see Day saying probably Ryan Nielsen.
Yeah, maybe, but I just think it's gonna be Rashard, bro, because he got everybody playing better besides Malcolm Jenkins, of course. But Lattimore for a little bit was playing like he was playing like a top 2 corner for a little bit. He rejuvenated PJ Williams' career. Marcus Williams doing good things. Debo, I think he's gonna be the DC.
Yeah. Hey, Capacitin was on a 2-year deal. Do you think the Saints? Oh, hell yeah, Saints bring him back. I think we're bringing him back because of this. I think Carl Granderson. I believe he's a unrestricted free agent. So
I want him back.
I want him back as well. But if he doesn't come back, I believe we still keep Capacitin, no matter what. Capacitin, you've seen what he did. He was dominant when he was on the field. He had a stellar looking like he was looking like he was going to have a stellar season. That's what I meant. And I feel like it got cut short due to injury. Just like, of course, Payne Turner and having Davenport and 58 other goddamn players on our team. But I mean, it sucks seeing how many players that were down this year, seeing our quarterback get took, our other quarterback, and then a wide receiver didn't come this year play. I mean, he's seen just all these injuries. It's just horrible, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. He had 4 sacks before he got hurt. See, yeah, Capacitin, yeah, he had 4 sacks, and that says a lot. That says a lot because he wasn't even our starter, and he was playing a defensive tackle too. He wasn't just playing defensive end some plays. Not saying that was just every play or every position down, but he did play some on the inside defensive tackle, and he did get to the quarterback 4 times. His pressure was relentless. His length and strength, I believe, is something we definitely need to keep on our D-line, because with the rotation with Capacitin, if you notice, when Capacitin was healthy, Davenport was healthy.
Lethal.
It was lethal, and Carl Granderson and Cam Jordan. You've seen the rotation with Cam Jordan and Capacitin. Cam Jordan, if you remember correctly, has really never had a rotation. He's always in the game. He is a starter, but if you notice, Dennis Allen was incorporating Cameron Jordan due to less time on the field, which is actually good because it's keeping him healthy throughout the year and the game. He's keeping him fresh throughout the game. And to me, if we can keep that rotation, both sides, Turner, Davenport on one side, Capacitin, Jordan, hopefully we re-sign Granderson.
Hope so.
I think that rotation and that depth at that position is definitely key. And I really think those players at that position are pretty solid. From Cam Jordan to Carl Granderson, I think all 4 of those guys are definitely dominant people.
Facts. Passing, definitely played really, really good. It just sucks his season got cut short due to injury, man. I feel like that just happened too much this year. And Granderson, bro, I'm a big Granderson fan, man. I said in my free agency video, like I didn't hate the Peyton Turner pick because of the player, but it's just like Carl Granderson had 5 sacks at DN4. Like I like that's just impressive. Like the dude wasn't even a starter. He got 5 sacks. One of them was on Mahomes. So I just think he got potential to be really, really good. He just need an opportunity.
Right.
He said Cam, Ayumata, Passanio, and Deport was cold on the line. Woo. Yep. Rashard probably wants to call his own plays. I can't see him standing there while Allen called the plays. That's the point. May as well go somewhere else. DC. That's a good point, but I'm pretty sure DA said like he want to call plays, but it's not like for certain. So I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that definitely is a good point, Dada.
Yeah, for sure. Cam, Audimana, Capacicton, and Deport, man, all those guys when they were on the field at the same time, bro.
Oh,
man, he's right. It was cold. I mean, no O-line wanted to see that.
Man, just ask Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Ask Tom Brady, because I mean, who are you going to double guard? And saying that means you're going to leave one person one-on-one for sure. You're going to have to. And if you got DeMario Davis coming up the middle, you're screwed. Let's be honest, especially when our D-line is healthy. Now come next year, I really believe as much as we never got to see him this year, I still believe in Peyton Turner. I still believe I believe he's got a lot of upside. Yes, he did get hurt and we didn't get to see him, so we can't really judge him. But I think that guy's a big guy. He plays a lot like Davenport, and I play when he was in. He was a force to be reckoned with. And if you can start the rotation with Peyton Turner and Davenport, that's a lethal rotation right there. Yeah, I mean, you got 2 guys that are over 6'6". Let's just say, just to be fair, they're only 290, 280. And even at that, you're looking at people that are 6'6", 6'7", 290, or however much they weigh. And that's size, strength, and it shows on the field. So me personally, I can't wait to see Peyton Turner next year. And I really think he's going to make his presence. And I really feel he's going to show people that, hey, I am here. I am good. And I was a number 1 overall pick. I think we killed it on the draft last year, minus the Peyton Turner getting injured. I mean, it's not,
and Kawan Baker, because I don't know what they just not to cut you off, but it's like the year where like you could have put someone in at receiver and you just I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
Facts. I never got to see. I mean, well, you didn't either. None of us got to see Kawan Baker except for that one game, where he played like special teams role. If you remember right, and the only reason I remember is because he made a tackle, and all of a sudden I was like, "Who the hell's that?" Yeah, I mean, and it was all Kawan Baker. I'm like, "What the hell? Why aren't we playing him?" And that whole game, I was just expecting them to play him, and it never happened. And I'm like, man, dude. So he dressed down for one game, made one big play, special teams, didn't get to see him after that. I don't remember if that was a preseason game or not. Could have been. It probably makes sense. But yeah, dude, it was really disappointing because I looked at that kid's tape and he looked pretty good.
He could fly.
He could fly. And man, dude, I mean, he's got some ball skills. So, I mean, as much as our wide receivers drop balls this year, why didn't we give him a shot? Because he was, he's got certified hands in college. Yes, I know this is the NFL and it is pros, so it is at a different higher level. But hey, man, you got to give the rookie a shot. When we were down to people were signing from the street. We're putting Kevin White in there that's had the most injuries out of any player during a career as a wide receiver. We're putting him in knowing Butterfingers is going to, slipped the ball past his hands. He made one good play in a 36-yard drive. One good play. That was it. Yes, I'm hating on him because he dropped many, and I even had faith in him. He failed me pretty much like Traquan Smith did.
Oh,
So,
man, don't even talk about him.
man, I know, man, dude. Traquan Smith, bro.
But Dada said Davenport and Turner are like having two Julius Peppers on the left side and the right side you got to deal with. That's definitely interesting, man. But like if they can stay healthy, I can see it, bro. Cause like I remember when everybody, like you said earlier, masked up, everybody was talking about Cam Jordan not getting enough sacks and stuff. When Marcus Davenport was playing, bro, Cam Jordan's sack number went up, and that's not a coincidence. That's because Davenport was the best D lineman last year, in my opinion, as far as pass rushing. So
Yeah. As far as pass rushing, I feel like it opened up at the end of the season. I feel like they started worrying more about Davenport being that big bodied guy. They didn't want to get wrecked. I feel like they started giving him more looks than Cameron Jordan, and that opened up, Cameron Jordan's one-on-ones, which he started winning, and we've seen, double sack games and triple sack games. That to me shows a lot, because if we can have that rotation with Peyton Turner and Davenport, they're going to be looking to that side more. They're going to be like, damn, these guys are tearing us up on this side. We need double team, as much as possible on Davenport. Then that's going to free up whoever's on the other side, whether that be Cameron Jordan, Capassington. I really feel that's going to be the rotation next year. That keeps them both healthy. That keeps them both fresh throughout the game. Plus, it's depth. I really feel that's what we should do. And it screws with the offensive line guy, because think about it, the offensive line guy, he can't. They don't have rotation. They're the starters for a reason. So when a D line defensive end is having a rotation, you're having to compliment for one guy's playmaking ability and the way this guy plays, and then when the other guy comes out, you gotta accomplish it. You gotta sit there and try to try to get this guy's game down. And for an offensive lineman, when you got rotation like that, it's harder for him. So the rotation at the defensive end position that the Saints use is dominant for a reason.
facts, man. And speaking of Davenport, Turner, and just like all the good Packers, passing all that. The new thing that they're saying about the Saints this year is that we don't have any good young talent, man, which is just a lie. You just named multiple really good young players, man. And man, I'm just ready to see these dudes get better, man, for real. And Josh the Pills fan, do you got them shoes?
Where them shoes at, boy? No shoe. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Another.
Yeah.
Just threw a shoe.
Yeah.
It's on here. There you go, bud.
Yeah, Dada said, wonder will the Saints draft the other South Alabama wide receiver Tolbert this year? If he slips to like the third or fourth, I mean, maybe. I think it's realistic we could take two receivers. I don't know.
Realistically, I really think so. Really, bro. I really feel second round, because there's so much wide receiver talent. Even if we went in the second round to search for wide receiver, I think we can get you a John Mechie or a George Pickens, or maybe even I don't see Chris Oslov dropping to round 2. I really don't. So that's why I say in round 2 George Pickens or John Mechie. I say those two names because I feel like those two names are going to be the best wide receivers in the second round. I could be missing one guy, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I really like George Pickens. I've been saying that since I seen him coming out of this year's draft. I really like him. He's a big body guy. His stats aren't so great because he suffered injuries. So that's one thing to look at as well. We don't want somebody that's injury prone, of course. But I just like him because like I've said previously before, he brings that swag like CD Deuce does, and he brings that swag and that demeanor, that energy, and same as George Pickens. I feel he has that. He has that CD Deuce has, but I think he'll do good in the league wherever he goes. George Pickens, just remember that name. I believe wherever that guy goes, as long as they got a good quarterback throwing to him, I feel he's going to stride wherever, because he is a big body guy. He just, like I said, has suffered through some injuries, and his stats aren't as great as it. But if you go look at this kid's highlights, his hands are definitely certified. He's definitely out there just making plays. Yeah, dude. So if you throw to him, he can catch the ball, kind of like Michael Thomas. You throw to him, he's definitely going to catch it.
Bro, that's who I think he plays like, bro. That's crazy.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
I don't like to compare the two because Michael's on another level.
Oh
But,
yeah.
But yes, I do agree with that. The way they play, I kind of feel George Pickens comes in with a swagger and energy. Yeah, just like Michael Thomas, he comes in. I mean, Michael Thomas from day one came into the Saints organization after being drafted. He knew he was the number one guy, even though we had Brandon Cooks. His mentality is, hey, I'm the number one dude. If we could find another wide receiver with the same type of mentality, George Pickens, he has that mentality. I really feel he would strive, dude, with Michael Thomas because, man, I believe he's 6'3" or 6'4", and he's like 210 pounds. Pretty decent size receiver in my opinion.
Right. And something else I want to talk about. Do you think the Saints could draft a tight end round 1? Because a lot of mock drafts, I'm seeing them saying like Trey McBride doesn't even go in the first round, like he slips all the way down to the second. And a lot of people on one of my Saints videos, I think it's a free agent one or something. I said I don't think we should sign a tight end, and a lot of people disagree with that. So I think the Who Dat Nation open to bringing in a new tight end. So what you think about that?
I seen a mock draft or something saying, or no, not a mock draft. I seen something about like OJ Howard being a free agent and the Saints swooping him up. I don't believe that. Hey, dude, the only first round tight end I would love to see. You named him, Trey McBride. I think to me, I think Trey McBride plays a lot like George Kittle. I really do. The way he plays, I mean, he's got, George Kittle does got a swag to him. He's got that energy. Trey McBride, he has that. Trey McBride, if you go watch his tape, the dude is an all-around tight end. He's a blocker. He's a badass catcher. I mean, his height, like I said, he plays a lot like George Kittle. Not comparing him to George Kittle. I'm just saying the way they play, his play style imitates George Kittle, I believe. He wears 85. He's a big guy. I believe he's 6'6" or 6'7", and he's 290 pounds. Mind you, that's pretty big for a tight end. But when you're blocking at an NFL level, 290 is perfect for a tight end, in my opinion. 250 and above. Hell yeah. I would not be mad if we drafted him. And the reason I say that is because Jameis Winston thrives with a number one type of tight end. And
I'm so happy you said that.
That's my opinion. A lot of people would hate that pick. My opinion, there's 3 good tight end. I mean, there's more than that coming out of this year's draft, but there's 3 of them that are standing out really good. And I can't pronounce the first dude's name. And I forgot the third guy, but Trey McBride has just caught my eye. Watching him at the Senior Bowl, man, dude, that guy was just dominating everybody. Nobody could stop him. So to me, that would not be a bad pick with Jameis Winston under center, because not only does that give him another run block guy for the run game, it ultimately helps him, stretch the field because Jameis Winston does love his tight ends.
Facts, man. Say what you want about Jameis or whatever, but when he was in Tampa, statistically, he was a top 5, top 3 red zone quarterback, and a lot of that had to do with them tight ends and stuff. So I definitely won't mind that. But Dada said he won't fool me. We're gonna draft a top receiver and one later round and sign one in free agency. Yeah, probably. See McBride at the Senior Bowl. He's huge off TV, but he's a tight end from Wisconsin. He was a big guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, that Wisconsin guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name either, dude. But
Yeah,
that dude is pretty. Trey McBride is actually in second place with the tight ends, which is surprising because of how dominant he is. But he is right. Data is right. The guy from Wisconsin, I believe, is number 1, and that dude is pretty badass. I mean, he's fast. Like I said, he's an all around tight end as well. Definitely got hands and great playmaking ability. Stiff arms, good. His highlights are good as well. I'm gonna have to look that up now because I don't remember his name. So I'll look it up for us. So,
all right. Rose City said Juwan Johnson year 2 in tight end role. That's who I want to see a tight end, him and Troutman back. But that's just me. And Van Nant. I just want to keep the same tight end room because a lot of people got on Adam Troutman this year, and I'll say it until I can't say it no more. When Nick Van Nant came back, Adam Troutman had his best game of the season. That's not a coincidence at all. Like, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, for sure. I personally think our tight end room will do a lot better this year. Not only will the additional, as much as we hate to say it, Andreas Pete coming back is huge. With Ryan Ramczyk getting surgery, getting his knee taken care of already, as long with Terran Armstead, if both those guys come back, well, of course Ryan comes back, but if T Stead comes back, we already know he's dominant. We already know he's got continuity on that O-line. And that ultimately it makes Cesar Ruiz play, as much as we hate to say it. It complements him as well because now he's got the starting O-line to help him. And to me, I think he looks better when we have that starting O-line out there. So to me, man, like our O-line, like as long as our O-line is healthy. What was the question, man? I tend to forget. What was the question? Yeah, that's
the
right.
tight end from Wisconsin,
No, the tight end room. I believe with as long as we have our O-line healthy, Jameis Winston as our quarterback, I believe our tight end room is just fine. And the reason I say that is because you've seen the connection with Winston and Juwan Johnson. I believe that will continue and actually grow this year. I think Troutman as well, as much as we hate to say it, he is a phenomenal blocker. And I think he even has hands. It took George Kittle 4 years to become George Kittle. Just like Hootie says all the time. So I can't really take nothing from Troutman because he has came up big in some big moments of games. And us as Saints fans, we got to look at that, dude. Not just look at the negative from him. I think our tight end room, if we don't establish it in the free agency or in draft, I think we're just going to roll with all three. Nick Van Nett's still under contract. I think Nick Van Nett's still pretty good. You got to remember, he came in half the year after coming back from an injury. So I agree with you, bro. I agree that our tight ends could be okay if we drafted elsewhere, like focus more on O-line and wide receivers. I think I'd be okay with that. And to be honest, I would definitely be okay with it. I'd be okay if we signed another tight end. But I rather see us like we're both up here saying, like we wouldn't mind another tight end, but I still feel comfortable in the tight ends now. I feel Troutman will have a better year. I think even Nick Van Nett will have a better year, even if it's in the blocking game. I still think he'll fulfill a role that we definitely need. And with Jameis Winston as quarterback, you know what happens when he's at quarterback and he's reading his reads. He likes to go to the tight ends a lot. If the wide receivers aren't open, of course. And plus, when you have a tight end going up against like a linebacker, that's a pretty good matchup. Like or a safety. I think those are pretty good matchups, and that's what he needs to capitalize on. Definitely.
Facts, man. I definitely like people just gotta realize, man, like you can't have everything. Like we can't get Mike Gesicki, Chris Godwin, and like nah, bro. Like that's just not realistic, man. Like you gotta sacrifice at some places, man. And our tight end room, I think, is fine, man. I mean, if you want to stretch the field, you got Jawan Johnson. If you want a big target, middle of the field, you got Adam Troutman. And then Nick Vanette can block. So like I mean, I just don't I don't get it, man.
Me neither, man. I really don't.
Facts, man.
But I really want us to establish in this free agency first, of course, our quarterback. And I really think once we can sign a quarterback, I think DA is going to pursue Jameis Winston to the full extent. I
Can't
think
wait.
we're gonna right, and I think we're gonna sign him for a couple years, so he's happy, so he knows he's established as a starting quarterback, and he's got a couple years to fall on to not only prove himself, but to have more continuity. Man, he definitely needs that, and I think that's what's gonna ultimately decide his decision. Um, I see a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah," even Bucks fans saying Jameis is going to come back. And I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong because they gave up on him for Tom Brady. Bruce Arians, and the whole organization gave up on him, and then talk shit about him.
Yeah, they got to
Um,
eat bro on that one, man.
right, and that that was another reason why I didn't think we would ever sign Chris Godwin. Because of the fact that Chris Godwin did talk shit about, Jameis Winston. If you guys remember when they went to the Super Bowl, they were talking about, well, all we needed was that quarterback. We haven't had that. Well, that wasn't true. They had a lot of pieces that they added to make a Super Bowl run. Their defense was never that great. There's a lot of things behind that. But to me, I feel Jameis is going to look at all that bullshit and realize that, hey, dude, these guys gave up on me. Basically, they failed me because they gave up on me. They didn't believe in me. The Saints, yes, I know it was Sean Payton that signed him, and he wanted to come here for the Harvard school or whatever. But now he realizes, hey, Drew Brees is gone. Sean Payton might be gone, but we got Dennis Allen. Pete Carmichael still running the same type of offense.
Yep.
And dude, that to me speaks volumes. He loves Michael Thomas, and he never even got to play with him. So I mean, to me, I think that just shows a lot of leverage to come back. You can run your own offense over here, Jameis. We love you. The Saints fan loves you. I believe the city even embraced Winston
Yeah.
once he became. So I think he's going to look at that as well. Like, man, dude, the city embraced me. It's a different culture when you come to the New Orleans Saints. And I believe that's going to really decide his decision on where he's going. And I really believe it's going to be the Saints.
Facts. That I said, do you think we still draft a quarterback? Nah. My first option at quarterback would be Jameis, but again, I said this before. That's not who you call about first. You call about your Russell Wilsons and your Deshaun Watsons. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, though, speaking, I just want Jameis back. Like I'm sorry, but like I just don't know. Like what else he got to prove? Like I'm sorry. 14 touchdowns, 3 picks. I mean, like you could say the injury, but I mean, he only ran out of the pocket because no one was getting open. Like, I just don't get it.
Right. Yeah. I don't get it either. I really don't, because you see what Jameis did. You see him striding in this recovery. You see You seen Jameis Winston once he got the starting rule before? Oh, no, I'm wrong. Before he got the starting rule, he came in and embraced the team. He was working out with the wide receivers, building a connection in the offseason before the season even started, before he was even named starting quarterback. That shows. He was trying to build a connection, and it showed on the field. I believe Jameis Winston came in. He's more of a leader. Hey, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I love Taysom Hill. I think he's a good all-around player. I just feel like he doesn't have the what can I how do I put it? He doesn't have
Skill.
the leadership. The leadership Jameis Winston brings, and when he brought that leadership into this organization, it's like our leader was Demario Davis on defense before, you know what I mean? When Jameis Winston's down, it's Demario Davis. It wasn't Taysom Hill. He wasn't in there trying to hype up the team. And that speaks volumes. I'm not trying to take nothing from Taysom Hill. I'm just saying that shows how much of a leader Jameis Winston is. He came in talking all business. And, he's trying to hype his team up, in the interviews after games and press conferences. Jameis Winston, and I'm gonna be the guy that say it. I was really adamant about him. I wasn't really for Jameis Winston when we signed him. I was pissed when we signed him because the Lattimore beef, and he was a Buccaneers quarterback, and I 30 for 30.
Signed him to be a backup.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and I wasn't real, fond of the whole signing. But don't get me wrong, when Jameis Winston came in, like I said, he won the hearts of Saints fans and the city. And I was one of those Saints fans that he won the heart of, man. He definitely came in and showed me that, hey, dude, he's not just a rival quarterback no more. He's our quarterback. And we got to look past the rival part and look at his stats and look at what type of quarterback he can be. And I believe in him, man. And like you said, you're pro Jameis, and 100% I am too. I really want him to be our quarterback come this year because I really think he can make that real strong run. And we just, like I said last year, we just needed, besides the O-line getting injured, and we needed that quarterback. And when Jameis Winston went down, I feel like our team started falling apart because we lacked that leadership other than Demario Davis. We lacked that leadership on offense. And, even Alvin Kamara was taking the leadership on the offense, which he was a running back. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, besides the quarterback stats and all that. Like, you got to look at it like, who's the leader? Who's the leader, like, even when they're hurt? You know what I'm saying? Like, Jameis Winston, to me, has more leadership skills. I don't know. Taysom Hill just was, like, too focused on, like, trying to be the starting quarterback, I feel like, and not trying to, gain continuity with the team or, like, build a connection like Jameis Winston did. And I'm not taking nothing from Taysom Hill. I'm just, in my opinion, those are the differences between the two quarterbacks. And we've seen it throughout the year when Taysom Hill was our quarterback. We didn't see that leadership. We kind of lacked that.
Facts. I definitely agree that James is a better leader than Taysom. I mean, like, that's just like a fact at this point. But I'll say just a couple things and then leave. But like for anybody that's listening, like go look at some of the Saints players' interviews from the offseason, like Alvin Kamara and other guys. Like when they would get asked about the quarterback competition, they'll be like, yeah, Jameis, he threw for 5,000 yards. He started before, yada yada yada, and then when it comes to Taysom Hill, he's been here, under Drew, and then it'll just be that, man. So the locker room clearly likes Jameis more than Taysom and respects him more. Like Demario Davis said, that man is his favorite teammate. Like, really, like, you play with Drew Brees and like all these guys, and Jameis Winston, your favorite teammate, man. Like, that just speaks volumes, man. And like I just don't see a world where Jameis ain't the best option at quarterback. Again, no offense to Taysom Hill, because I definitely like Taysom Hill, and I mean, shoot, who knows? I mean, he still got the potential to be good. Who knows? But I mean, Jameis, I just feel like he's just the better option right now.
Right. Yeah, I think Jameis is definitely the best option between the two, just because. Don't get me wrong. I think Taysom Hill, I mean, he was in a failed situation and he wasn't going to stride like to even prove his worth. But, like I said, the leadership speaks volumes. The way he won the team over, as a whole, and not just the offense. But I mean, look, you just said it yourself. Demario Davis was speaking about him. So that speaks a lot of volumes, man. I can't stress that enough. Nothing against Taysom Hill. I'm just saying the leadership. Drew Brees brought that leadership in when he first became our quarterback. We didn't have that solid leadership. Drew Brees has it. Jameis Winston, he has that. Taysom Hill, he's more of a quieter, let's just go out there and play football type guy. And Jameis Winston is more of a, hey, leader. He's telling his wide receivers what to do. He's getting upset with them. If you remember, him and Traquan got in that little argument on the sideline, and that was just Jameis Winston's passion to show, hey Traquan, dude, I needed you to do this differently, so they can be on the same page. A lot of the media looked at it like, oh my God, they're fighting. No, Jameis Winston's got so much passion for football and so much passion to succeed, not only within himself, but within his players that he's playing with as well. So that's why he was trying to get Traquan Smith on the same page. So, like, they're not doing those, horrible plays where he throws it and he's missing the ball. They're on the same page, so it, connects perfectly. And that's what I loved about Jameis, man. Like, his passion for football and the leadership he brings in this locker room is something that is well needed in our offense.
Facts, man. Like one of those Jameis Winston videos I made. I want to say it was his college coach. I'm not too sure, but the dude said he's accurate. He can win from the pocket, and he shows up in the biggest moments, man. I just think that's facts, man. But just say what you was gonna say. I didn't mean to talk.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, dude, I totally agree, dude. Your videos, man. Yeah, those Jameis Winston videos for sure. Man. I'm totally with you, bro. I just really been waiting on that official news report where it says Saints re-signing Jameis Winston. I know it's about a month away, but I'm still hoping. I can't wait.
All right, man. Thank you for having me on, man. As always, it was really, really good.
No problem, Josh. It's good having you on, bro. For sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
No problem.
What about you, Josh? How you doing?
Good.
All right. So who's your favorite team? Is it the Patriots or?
Cards.
Oh, the Cardinals, huh? Yeah, the Cardinals. So what's going on with the Kyle Murray situation?
Especially also being an Oklahoma fan, I do not like what's going on.
No.
Nope.
So what is like Kyle Murray wanting out, or what's the situation behind that?
I think maybe because since his rookie contract was still on, and most quarterbacks win a Super Bowl on their rookie contract, since Kyler didn't, now he's getting all mad. He literally deleted all the posts of him with the Cardinals, and the only 2 posts he has on his Insta are him at the Pro Bowl with CeeDee Lamb and when he won the Heisman. Those are the only 2 pictures of him.
Wow, so he took off all his other ones, huh?
Yeah, he literally wiped his entire Insta.
Wow, dang. Well, that might say something, but maybe not. I wouldn't look too deep into it. It is the off season. We've seen this happen with numerous players, and they still stay on the same team. So, I think personally, I think the Cardinals being smart, I think they will make sure to keep Kyler Murray. He was a number one overall pick. A first round pick. He did win a Heisman. That does say a lot. He has had a lot of success as a Cardinals quarterback. So I could see the Cardinals doing everything and anything to bring him back in, making him happy.
Yeah. I just feel like the Saints could possibly go for Stetson Bennett in the draft if he does declare for it, or possibly try at least picking up Kyler if he does not go to the MLB.
Yeah. You think if Kyler doesn't want to play football anymore, you think he will go to the uh, MLB? You think he'll just say, screw this, I'm just going to go to the MLB?
Probably, but then I might start watching some baseball because I literally don't even watch baseball at all. I watched the softball from last year, OU won, and I think maybe I honestly just don't know, man.
Yeah, you don't know, huh?
Nope.
Hold on just one second.
Alright.
All right, there we go. But yeah, Kyler Murray, it's kind of sad seeing, that situation with the Cardinals because, they did have a good, a pretty decent season, during the beginning of the season. And then they started declining. But, I think if they just get a couple more pieces, they could still be a pretty decent playoff team. But, like I said, Kyler Murray's got to stay healthy if that's going to be your quarterback moving forward. D Hop, that was a big hit when he went down. So
Yeah, I think that might have been what happened to where the Cardinals couldn't at least win the wild card because if D Hop probably wasn't injured and Kyler wasn't a little bit injured, then they possibly would have won it.
yeah, they could have. They definitely could have won that. And they should have definitely. But we see what happened. When your number one wide receiver is out, you see what happens. When you have a dominant wide receiver like a D Hop, a Michael Thomas, your wide receiver room doesn't look as dominant anymore because of that. No matter if you have a number two wide receiver, because when D Hop's in, he makes everyone else look better. Because if he's getting double guarded, that leaves somebody else, potentially wide open. If not wide open, then it leaves them for a one-on-one battle that they should actually win and cause separation. But when D Hop is out, then nobody else is getting double teamed. The safety's not worried about a D Hop because he's not out there. So your wide receiver room ain't going to look as dominant. And I think that's what Kyle Murray had to deal with this season. Once D Hop went down, he noticed a lot of these wide receivers that he does have. We're having to step into that number one role and going up against number one cornerbacks. And not doing as well. And we see that because when D Hop is on the field or a Michael Thomas is on the field, they're going up against the best cornerbacks on the opposing team. And we got to look at that, So same with D Hop. He's going up against, Stephon Gilmore's and, Marshawn Lattimore's. He's going up against those type of people. Jalen Ramsey's, so we got to look at that as well. when they're out, it really shows on an offense, no matter who's that quarterback.
Yeah. What do you currently think about the Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams thing going on currently about them going to Denver possibly?
Yeah, I keep seeing them bridged up with the talk with him going to Denver. Me personally, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go out on a limb. And I'm gonna consider that I really think Aaron Rodgers wants to go to a Super Bowl type team, and I really think personally, the Niners, and him, uh, that might be a match made in heaven for our Aaron Rodgers. I say that because Jimmy G had a chance to go to the Super Bowl this year. They were in that championship game. The reason they lost that game was because of Jimmy G. That pick, made him lose the game. He couldn't, sustain no drives to get down the field. So to me, Aaron Rodgers' hometown is San Francisco. That's where he was born. That's where he grew up. He's always, even when he went to the draft, you can go back and look at some of his interviews, and he said his dream scenario would have been getting drafted by the Niners, but he didn't. He got drafted by Green Bay. He's always been a Niners fan his whole life. So me personally, I believe Aaron Rodgers, if he's not a Green Bay Packers, if they don't strike a deal with him, I really think he's going to go to the Niners, and I think it's going to be for like a year deal. He's got Trey Lance to back him up. That gives Trey Lance another year under a different quarterback, a better quarterback, Aaron Rodgers than Jimmy G. And I think they can make that happen with a Jimmy G trade, with some picks as well. Not only does that give him a veteran quarterback, that gives them picks too. And I think that might happen. So watch for that. I keep seeing them go to the Broncos. I keep seeing that. But in all reality, I think maybe we see a different quarterback for the Broncos.
Yeah, possibly like Teddy Two Gloves coming back after his injury. Maybe picking up Jimmy G for Denver. Honestly, I just really don't care about Denver, but my dad is a Chiefs fan, diehard Chiefs fan, ever since he was 6. And I just don't really know, man. Bro, why is my phone not connected to the Wi-Fi? That does not make sense.
Yeah. Jimmy G. Yeah, you never know. He's probably got a lot of trade potential. With these other teams, I'm not saying the Saints because I don't see the Saints going after him at all. I see a lot of other teams going after him, and the reason I say that is because he does have, as a quarterback, he does have a pretty good, winning stats, but not in big games. Jimmy G, I do not want to see part of the Saints organization. I wouldn't mind if he went to a Buccaneers organization. I would laugh, honestly. Or even a Broncos. I think the Broncos and him can strike a deal, and they can figure something out there. But like I said, it depends on the Niners organization on what they want to do. But they would be smart because it's the same kind of the path the Buccaneers took when they went to the Super Bowl. It's the same path that Matthew Stafford took when he went to the Rams. They went all out, and like I said, if the Niners have 0 draft picks, but if they could sign everybody on their team this year, watch out because they'll still be that dominant defense. And if Aaron Rodgers went to the Niners, that would I as much as I hate to say it, that would probably be a Super Bowl contending team. He's got Deebo Samuel. He's got Brandon Ayuk. He's got George Kittle. He would strive in that West Coast. That would be his dream scenario, as Aaron Rodgers did say. So, if I feel if Aaron Rodgers got the opportunity to go to the Niners, he would not deny that opportunity. He would go. That's his dream scenario, and I think he would be happy. He would try his hardest. I really think he would do good in the Niners. But I don't know what happens. I don't know what can happen. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't want to switch teams. Maybe he retires this year. We don't know. Yeah, he is coming off an MVP season. So, with that being said, I mean that makes another case for him to, go somewhere else. Somebody can push for Aaron Rodgers. The Denver Broncos can try to push for him, like you said. And then maybe they go all out and try to get Aaron Rodgers. But to me, the Denver Broncos still have that young quarterback, and they still have Teddy Bridgewater, I think.
Yeah, Drew Lock and Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, I think they both still have them. So I don't know why they would want to go out and go all in for a quarterback when they definitely need to go get some other pieces. Maybe an O line to protect their quarterback, and maybe they need to start with that. A better defensive players. They definitely need more weapons at wide receiver. For sure. So with the Denver Broncos, I think they should focus more on building that team. They had a pretty Teddy Bridgewater had a decent year. I don't think it was too horrible of a season for him. He did get injured, but I think he looked pretty decent in a lot of games. He did have some bad games, but not every game is going to be perfect.
Bro, what do you think of my profile picture?
Oh, Drew Brees, yeah, that's definitely the GOAT right there.
Yeah, since my Twitter is not on there anymore, I'm gonna go to Twitter and copy and paste it again.
Okay.
Right.
All right, I see Slim South in the chat. I see Day Day and Jerry. I just want to shout out to all you guys. Rose City, Elite. Let's see what else is up in here. Yeah, I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. Who dat to all you guys for tuning in and joining in. I appreciate it. But what were you saying, Josh?
Just put my Twitter back in the chat because whenever I left, it was no longer there. So I'm
Okay.
yeah.
I added you, buddy.
All right.
Yeah. So who do you want your team to draft?
Honestly, haven't really looked at the draft that much, but honestly, just want them to draft really good players. Like as long as they've had a good season, possibly. I don't really know, bro. Yeah, but if they could possibly go for a trade, maybe the Cardinals could maybe try trading for a QB if Kyler does indeed go to the MLB or a different team. Definitely not Josh Rosen this time.
Not Josh Rosen. Why not? You don't like Josh?
Was the chosen Rosen, but is no longer the chosen Rosen.
The chosen Rosen. Yeah, he hasn't Rosen since he got into the NFL, but yeah. Definitely Cardinals should definitely re-sign Kyler for sure and start with there. Maybe get him some more offensive line weapons so he can stay in the pocket longer.
Yeah, maybe on that right guard or center maybe they could try going for possibly Roger Saffold and moving him to right guard or center from the Titans.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of free agents this year coming out of a lot of this NFL teams. I see a lot of guards, centers, and tackles coming out of this year's free agency. So you might want to look into that and see that, because I mean, even in free agency, you can pick up some good players. Definitely, even the Cardinals can. I'm expecting my team, the Saints. I'm expecting them to having Da pull some moves and make moves already. I feel like he's going to try to make his own legacy, and that's going to be signing Jameis Winston back, and that's going to be going all out this season for good wide receivers and O line help. And I really think that's what we're going to go for. I believe we maybe sign everybody on our defense and try to sign a defensive lineman, because there's going to be a lot of defensive linemen, not only in this draft, but in free agency as well.
Yeah, there's Chandler Jones, Miller, Von Miller, some guys in there, or possibly the Saints could pick up.
Yeah, and Hicks from the Chicago Bears. He's played with the Saints before. He got mad at the Saints when we released him or traded him. I can't exactly remember. But anyways, we got rid of him, and he went to let's see, Jerry Poor. What's going on, OG Jerry?
What's happening, man?
What's happening, bud? How you doing today?
You got it, man. Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, doing all right. Just talking a little football.
Yeah, I heard about the offensive coordinator move. So I guess Pete decided to stay on his old job, huh?
That's what he decided. How do you like that move, Jerry?
I like it. Well, right. And I'll tell you why. Because just like Dennis Allen knows that system very well, so does Pete Carmichael. Especially on the offensive side.
That is facts, and we needed that offensive coordinator role filled. And I was worried of who's that going to be. And like you said, I like the move too. Pete Carmichael.
Yeah.
He knows the same.
Yeah, my thought is still that we're gonna get that guy that we interviewed for the head coaching job, but I thought he was gonna be the next offensive coordinator for the Saints. I'm talking about Eric Bieniemy.
Facts. I really wanted him too, Jerry. I mean, if we couldn't have him
because the reason why, I mean, still glad about the signing with Pete Carmichael, but see, Eric Bieniemy, as well as he is up there in Kansas City, he can spice it up, especially on offense. Just like you're doing in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, dude. He is definitely a killer coach at offensive coordinator. And I think he would come over here and not only open up the offense, but he would have those type of, like you're saying, those trick elite plays, man. I mean, That dude it really sucks for him because he's being overlooked as a head coach. And I think he would even stride as a head coach elsewhere.
Right. But I don't know, man. We just have to see where this is going.
Right. So you think with the Saints making these type of moves, pretty much keeping all the continuity in as the coaching staff, do you think we do the same as well and go all out and get Jameis Winston?
Absolutely, man. I mean, because I've been saying that all along. You probably heard me talk about it on Hooded Jews podcast, because he knows that we want Jameis Winston back. He knows that. I mean, you try to go get this guy to be the next quarterback or this guy to be the next quarterback. No. Stick with Jameis Winston and, sign him to like give him a couple of years. Just give him a couple of years.
Right.
And see how well this goes.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should definitely, as DA being our head coach, I think he's been making some big moves already. And, by firing, and hiring and doing his own thing, building his own staff. I think he's going to do the same thing and building his own offense around, and I think that's going to be involved into building the team around Jameis Winston. And then that's gonna start with our O line and
definitely.
and pieces to help Jameis, besides Michael Thomas.
Yep. Yeah. Now we all know that Michael Thomas ain't going anywhere. I had a feeling that he wasn't going anywhere.
Me too, Jerry.
I mean, even though he's been out for a year, that still don't mean you're gonna have to trade him for. But I mean, think about it. I mean, who you gonna trade Michael Thomas for? That's something they got to think about.
Right, and even if all right, let's just say we try to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
What player are we gonna get on his elite type level? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a fair trade in the long run. Because we know Michael Thomas's ability, whether he's coming off this injury or not, we know he's going to come out and can't guard Michael Thomas. So who are we going to get in return that's going to be, that person that's got a big name like that? People were trying to trade him for C.J. Henderson from the Jags, the cornerback. That's not even a number one cornerback.
No.
And he's a third string on the Panthers team now. So what does that tell you? That tells you he's not an elite player. So any player we were to go trade for, it's not going to be an equal value for Michael Thomas. So to me, every time I seen that, bro, on Twitter, I was getting upset because it's like, dude, why are you guys hating on Michael Thomas? In my opinion, he's my favorite wide receiver in the league.
Mine too.
So that doesn't just go away just because he's missed all this time. You guys got to remember, if when Drew Brees was in, he spoke about Michael Thomas taking Super Bowl reps in practice. He had that mindset. Every rep for Michael Thomas is a Super Bowl rep. He's going out there trying his absolute hardest. And to me, we've lacked that at our wide receiver position. That mentality is, let's say it's. It's one in a million. You don't have that in a lot of players, and Michael Thomas has that, man. He's so to me, he's the best in the league.
Yeah,
and I believe when he comes back, he's gonna prove that and show people, hey, y'all forgot about me. Y'all wrote me off. Y'all wanted to trade me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put me into trade talks. The news media, not being Saints fans, but being the news media. They put that in the news media. He took he took notes. And if you notice all of these posts, he's being more vocal. He's happy. His mental is back to being right. And if you notice that picture he posted the other day, boy, man, I know DK Metcalf's got some competition.
Yeah, he does.
And I say that
dude's a freak, bro. That dude's a freak of nature.
Yes, DK Metcalf is speed. He's yoked, but man, Michael Thomas, that new picture that he just posted, he is looking. I thought he was 210. He ain't looking 210 no more. He's looking 225, and that's scary because I'm gonna say that's scary for not us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm glad for us, but for any defensive back, like, hey, you know what? And I'm going to throw one name out there that I cannot wait to see, and that's Eli Apple. Eli Apple just posted finally today. He finally posted, and he said, basically, bring all the smoke. I can't wait. You guys lit a fire under me. Every wide receiver better watch out next year. Okay, well, you done buried your hole, and now you better jump in it because come next season, Michael Thomas is coming for every defensive back's soul, and I mean that,
Yep.
and I believe, and I really believe that. I believe Mike Thomas's mentality coming into this year is going to be a lot different. I think his mentality is just going to be okay. You guys doubted me. You guys forgot about me. Well, here I come, and I believe he's going to be the number one in a lot of categories come next year. Everybody talks about Cooper Kupp's season, and don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing from Cooper Kupp.
No.
But where was that talk when Michael Thomas's 2019 season? I didn't see Cooper Kupp catch for 149 catches and 1,700 yards. I didn't see that this year. I don't even think he even got 1,600 yards. To be honest, I don't even think he got 1,500 yards. But we're still talking about Cooper Kupp like he's the best in the league. And I honestly kind of think that'll benefit us in this way. I think Michael Thomas is looking at that like, what the hell? You guys are glorifying this guy. What about my 2019 season? You guys wasn't talking one word about me. So I think Michael Thomas is also looking at that and is giving him a little more motivation to be like, okay, you want to talk about wide receivers now? Just you wait till next season.
Mm-hmm.
And me being us being Saints fans, we just cannot wait to unleash Michael Thomas.
Exactly.
but we still need to get some more weapons, alongside Michael Thomas. I still believe, whether that's in free agency or in this year's draft. There's a lot of potential in both free agency and in this year's draft.
Yep. Serves you right.
Right. So who do you think we might pick up this year in free agency? Do you think we pick up a wide receiver in free agency, or do you think we wait till draft?
Well, since free agency is on the rise, I mean, we can just focus on picking somebody up from the free agency because the draft ain't until like the last part of April. So the way I'm looking at it right now, I'd say we just go out pick up somebody from free agency, like a wide receiver, somebody somebody that can revamp and revive this Saint wide receiving core and this tight end. Matter of fact, revive this whole offense. Somebody,
right? And like I was saying earlier, I would love for us Saints to if we don't establish offensive linemen in free agency or a wide receiver, I really want a veteran wide receiver like a DJ Chark, somebody on a cheap deal because we don't got a lot of cap, so we can't go sign like a Chris Godwin type player. Even though I think he would fit in good, I think Allen Robinson and a Chris Godwin would be off the table just because of the price range that they bring. But a DJ Chark, I think he would come in on a cheap deal and he would strive in the number 2 position because he was a number 1 quarterback. I mean, wide receiver. He played that position as a number 1 wide receiver. So I think he would even do better, as a number 2.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think I wouldn't be mad if come the first round of the draft we went offensive line. And I say that because I don't know what we're going to do with T-Stead. We don't know if he wants that money back and he goes elsewhere, or we don't know if he takes that hometown discount and stays.
Right.
Or we don't know if Dennis Allen even wants him still. It's the vision we don't know anymore, and we're just as Saints fans just hoping the best. And I really hope we do establish offensive line help and wide receivers in first and second round at least, because I think those 2 positions are well needed. I wouldn't be mad, like I said, if we do go offensive line first round, and I wouldn't be mad if we went wide receiver. I think both those are really, really a high upside because in the first round, there's a lot of dominant O-line weapons, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of wide receiver weapons in the first round as well. So
Definitely.
either way, I would not be mad.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I did see a picture of Michael Thomas on Twitter. He was actually with Chris Oslov and Garrett Wilson from Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, if we picked up any one of those guys, you already know Michael Thomas from being from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Actually being friends with both of them and hanging out, I think that would be a perfect match. Whether it's a Chris Oslov or a Garrett Wilson, I think both those guys would even. I don't know about Chris Wilson. Garrett Wilson. I think he might be gone by the time our pick comes around. But I think Chris Oslov will still be available. I think Traylon Burks will be gone. As much as I would love him in our offense, I think he will be gone as well.
Yep.
So with that being said, I would love Chris Oslov with the 18th pick. I think that pick, Michael Thomas would bring him under his wing. That would be the duo at wide receiver that I would love to see.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how this play out, man.
Right.
But I just want to come on here, man. Just want to chop it up with you for a minute.
All right, no problem, Jerry. It's definitely good to hear your thoughts and hear what you have to say. I don't know if you're on Twitter and
I
Bob.
don't do Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't do Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. None of that stuff. So I just be here on YouTube.
All right, no worries. Anyways, there's a do you ever see on YouTube then I think Bob Rose?
Yeah.
I might actually have him on as a special guest come next week.
Yeah, I know. I know Bob Rose.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have him on as a special guest, guys. I'm actually breaking the news right now. I just remembered. But yeah, I'm gonna have him on my show here on YouTube. He's gonna come on. All I did was ask him for about 10 minutes of his time. That way, you're not asking for too much out of him. And that way I can figure out, about 10 questions or so to ask him. You know what I mean? A question a minute.
Yeah, but Bob Rose, he's a hardworking man, man. I mean, I know he's on the Under the Dome podcast with Mr. Alan Orich and Mr. Sean Williams. I know he's on with the Saints News Network with Kyle T. Mosley. So he got it in the Canal Street Chronicles. So he's staying pretty busy with his stuff, man, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah, me too, and that's why I only asked for about 10 minutes of his time because I see that he's a very busy guy, and when you want guests on your show, I feel like if you ask a half hour, sometimes that might be a little much for them.
Right.
So I thought 10 minutes would have been the right, question to ask. And he personally messaged me on Twitter and we got involved and so now we're going to make something happen. And I'm pretty excited about that. Try to grow the YouTube channel up a little more. So.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
One step at a time, of course.
That's all it takes.
Right. You got to put more content and go live more and, talk about, football. And I don't only talk about football. Sometimes I'll go live with the UFC events going on. Some people hop in that are UFC fans and stuff. But
right.
But yeah, that's about it. I just I love talking football. I love talking, UFC and boxing. I grew up watching all three. So.
I hear you, man. Well, all right, Trey. Well, I'll holler at you later, bro.
All right, Jerry. It's good having you on here. Thank you for hopping up here and saying what you had to say. It's always great, man, to have you on the show.
No problem, man. And like I said, we'll chop it up on the next time.
Yeah, no worries, Jerry. Hell yeah.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, later.
All right.
I see Key Nepp up in the chat. How you doing, bro? Slim South back. I see you, bro. Rose City still up in here. See you guys, Day. King Nepp, how's it going, bud? How's it going? Yeah, anyways, I'm about ready to hop off here. I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'm gonna go do my thing here. So yeah, hey, I just want to thank everybody that came on the show. Everybody that was in the comments, who dat to you guys. I'll probably have another show going on maybe later on today or tomorrow. I'll let you guys know for sure. Anyways, this is Masked Up podcast with your boy Saint So One over here. So just want to say who dat to everyone. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for tuning in. If you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. Let's blow your boy up. Let's go.